What's good, guys? My name is Isaac Suffin and welcome to the Wealthy Mindset YouTube. In this video, we're going to be talking about my journey and how I went from working for Instacart, making around $600 to $700 a month, to making over $100,000 in less than 7 months in the stock market. Here's my story. Let's tune in. I want to say it started around January, February 2020. During this time, we weren't really doing much yet in regards to the coronavirus. You know, I'm a student athlete at Howard University. I play basketball there. So at the time, I'm actually at the gym 2-3 times a day. And in between that time, I'm actually working for Instacart and Uber Eats, right? Mostly Instacart because I think they pay better personally. And it was just more convenient because there's a lot of grocery stores in the area. So I'd wake up, go to the gym. You know, after I left the gym, I go work Instacart. You know, midday I come back to the gym. After that, I work Instacart for most of the rest of the day, and then maybe I'll come back to the gym later that night. And I did that for a while. That was my everyday routine up until about middle of February when things started getting kind of shaky with the coronavirus. You know, at this point, everybody's starting to get kind of, you know, informed about it, not really informed, but it's catching more wind now. And my aunt actually works at a hospital, and I was actually staying with them in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time. And I was, you know, she was telling us about the coronavirus and how they still don't know much about it, but they know it's serious at this point. I remember the exact date, March 15th, we were actually quarantined and we were forced to stay indoors. Just a mandate that the governor of North Carolina had put out at the time. So at this point, Instacart's over with, no Uber Eats, none of that. I need to protect my family. I can't, you know, put anybody at risk. And, you know, everybody just stuck at home. And I knew that I wasn't trying to go back to school broke. That was my whole point of working for Instacart. You know, I was making money and I wasn't really managing it right. I wouldn't say I was saving the money I was getting. You know, I spent it on food most of the time, but nobody expected to be quarantined, so I figured I was good until, you know, I went back to school. But that ended up not happening because we were quarantined. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Right? I don't have any source of income now. Like, my one stream of income was taken away because the pandemic. And now I'm like, okay, my whole reason for working at Instacart and doing Uber Eats is because I didn't want to go back to school and not have any money in my pocket. Because one thing I've always hated doing was asking my mother for money, right? So during this pandemic, during this quarantine era, I was really like, yo, I have to find a way to make money. You know, I have a phone, I have internet, I have a computer. Let me find a way. So the first thing I did, I actually created an online store where I'm sure some of you know, dropshipping. And that didn't really work out for me because I didn't have much money, right? At this point, I had around $175, maybe $175. And, you know, to fund the store, first you have to fund the store. You know, you have to pay for the subscription. That's around $25, $30. And then you get the product, that's cool. And then you have to advertise the product. That costs money. You don't get a return on your advertisement. And then you actually just lost money because the ad didn't work. And I didn't have time for trial and error. I did have time. I didn't have the money for it, right? So, you know, if I keep spending money on ads, I'm not getting any sales, then I'm in trouble. So I want to say I did the online store, you know, from maybe mid-March until, you know, probably like a full month. You know, I did the online store. I got a couple sales here and there, but I wasn't really profitable. If anything, I would break even, maybe lose a little money because I over-advertised and didn't get a good enough return, or maybe sometimes I made a little bit of money. And after a month, I knew that wasn't sustainable for what I was trying to do. I was trying to make money, right? I wanted to provide for myself. You know, at this point, I'm 19. Well, I was 19 and then I turned 20 during the pandemic. I don't ask my mom for money because she's out of work right now because of the pandemic. Like a lot of families around the world were out of work. And, you know, for those of you who live in the United States, know that stimulus checks weren't really flying out like that. We got one during the pandemic, and after that, it was kind of like, okay, guys, you just survive for now, and that hurt a lot of families. So I wasn't trying to ask for money. Like, this is not the time to be asking people for money, especially in my situation. So what I did was I looked for something else, and that actually brought me to Instagram, just on a day where I was just scrolling through Instagram for no reason. And I actually found an ad for Acorns. And if you don't know what Acorns is, it's one of those apps where you could, save here and grow over time. You'll blah, 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 right? It was one of those. So I downloaded it, right? Why not? Let me see if I can make a little money here. I'm always thinking how to make money. I've always been trying to be some type of entrepreneur, something, right? Where I do my own thing. I work for myself. So, I looked at this app, and the app actually said, yo, send to a friend, get $5. I wanted $5. So I sent the link to my best friend. My best friend, turns out, already has the app, and he asked me, yo, you're into the investing? And I was like, no, not really. I don't really know much about it, but I might as well, right? I see people, I see this app saying I can make some money doing it. And he actually says, yo, was already on the app looking at the same thing. How about we learn about it together? So what happens is we scroll through Instagram, we actually find this guy, his name's Chris Johnson, and he has a stock market course at, it was $25 at the time. Like I said, I have around $175. So we were both broke, me and my best friend, so we actually ended up splitting the $25 fee, and we take the course. And the course is really good, right? It talks about the stock market. It talks about, it gives us a lot of information, right? And after the course, I have a pretty good understanding of what the stock market is and how it moves and things like that. So after we take the course, we download the Robinhood app, and we're like, yo, let's start investing. We took this online stock market course. Why not? Let's make this money, right? Because the course made it seem easy. So, we download Robinhood, and I actually put, I put like $20 in because I still don't know what I'm doing. And I buy a share, right? I buy a share of like something like GoPro. Might have been GoPro, might have been an AMC. At the time, these stocks are like $4, $5. And I buy it, and, I look at it, and I'm like, okay. It goes up a penny, it goes up 2 pennies, it goes down 5 cents. And I'm like, oh, nice. Yeah, I'm not gonna make any money doing this, right? I have enough for 2 shares of GoPro, and I'm staring at it, and it moves up 2 cents, and I can sell it for 2-cent profit. That's not gonna work, right? So, then I'm looking at all these other companies. Like, I'm thinking like, yo, let me invest in my favorite company. So let me invest in Nike, let me invest in Amazon, let me invest in Disney, right? And I'm looking at the share prices. At the time, Nike's $90-something, Disney's $100-something, Amazon's $2,000-something. Like, I don't have money like that. I have $150 at this point when I'm first now starting off with the market. I have $150. And so I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. How can I actually do this and be profitable without a lot of money? And then my friend hits me up, my best friend who I split the course with, and he says, yo, I found something called option trading. You should check it out. He says it's a lot better and quicker than buying and selling shares, especially if you don't have a lot of money. So what I do is I look up option trading, I study, I find out what he says is true. So I actually started looking into option trading, and I see that there's a lot more to the stock market than just what I learned from the course. And like I said, the course is really good, but it didn't talk about option trading. So I had to actually learn that on my own. And so what I ended up doing was I had to go laser focus and just study option trading, because at this point, it's towards the end of April, and we're still in quarantine. And even if we're not on quarantine, we're not trying to be outside because it's the unknown, right? We still don't know what the COVID-19 stuff is. So I'm studying the market. The first thing I do is I buy a call option that costs $60, and it's for Disney. And my logic was, okay, Disney it looks like it's down a lot right now. Let me buy a call option. When it goes up, I'll profit. But then there's a lot of factors I don't understand, a lot of factors at work that I just didn't understand. So I ended up losing $60, and that was a major hit to me. So now I have $90 left, and I'm like, yo, this is my only $90. Like, I have no other way of making any more money. So I'm like, okay, I need to dig in. I need to learn this. And the reason why, I'm so grateful that I didn't have any other choice is because this skill has been life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. If I had another choice, I probably would have went that route and lost out on what I have now. So that huge loss I took in the beginning, realizing that this is my only choice, was the biggest blessing, because I'm so glad that I stuck with it instead of giving up and moving a different route, because this has been the biggest blessing by far. So what I did was, at this point, it's the beginning of May 2020, and I am locked in. I'm like, yo, I need to learn this. I'm gonna learn this inside and out. And me and my best friend set a goal. We said, yo, by August, it's May, beginning of May right now, by August, we're gonna have $10,000. That was huge for us. Like, yo, $10,000. We just turned 20. We both just turned 20. We said 10K by August. I mean, that was our little slogan, 10K by August. And through, and I'm skipping a whole lot of like studying and mistakes and losses and frustration. I'm going over all that because I took a month and I gave myself a solid month full of hours and hours of time in quarantine learning this skill. And that 10K by August became 50,000 by the beginning of June. And that was the most money I've ever made in my life. It's the most money I've ever seen in my life. The most money that's ever been attached to my name. Like, amazing, right? And I almost, and I didn't know how to manage all that. I didn't know what to do with it. I took a little bit of it out, put it in my bank account. A little bit meaning just maybe a couple hundred, because I didn't need thousands of dollars in my bank account at the time, and I actually just traded the rest of it. And I actually took huge losses, absolutely huge losses. Like if I had $48,000 left in my Robinhood account, which is the app I was using at the time, I dwindled that down to like 5,000. Yeah, that 48,000 became like 5,000. Maybe 4, maybe 3. I don't know, but I lost almost all of it. Because I won early, and I thought I knew what I was doing, right? And I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know enough, right? I was what they call a Robinhood trader, like one of those guys who just go in, trade in a really, really good market. At the time, it was like things were just doing really well or recovering really well, and I was a part of that. And I thought I knew what I was doing when I didn't. And I took a lot of losses because when things got tricky and I was forced and I didn't know about certain indicators and just certain things about the market I didn't know, I got beat. And I didn't give up. No way. Obviously, I wouldn't be making this video if I gave up. But I didn't give up because I had already gotten a taste of the possibility. I was hurt, right? It wasn't easy getting over, a $45,000 loss. Like, no way, that wasn't easy. But like the Lord had already gave me a piece of, of what it could be like if I took the time, dedicated the time to learn this craft, learn this skill. So I didn't, I'm not gonna say I wasn't discouraged. I was definitely like, man, this sucks. Like, I'm thinking about, man, I had all this money and I lost it all because I thought I was eager. I thought I knew more than I did, and it ended up backfiring. But that's okay, because it only prepared me for what was to come. And what was to come was me making way more money than I could ever imagine. I locked in, I studied, I learned from all my past mistakes, and now I've been able to make over $100,000 in less than 7 months. 2021 alone has been one of the best years ever, and it's only the middle of February. And it's been amazing, just financially how blessed I've been able to be, just off the stock market. And at this point, I've taught over 3,000 people how to invest and trade in the stock market. And there's a difference between investing and trading. I've taught people over 3,000 how to option trade. I've taught, a few hundred by now how to, invest in dividend stocks. So, they can attain passive income, you know, turning that option trading profit into forever profit, right? You know, and I've been blessed to be on this journey, and I wouldn't change anything at all. You know, I wouldn't change how I got here, any of my losses, any of my past mistakes, because where I am right now, and I feel like it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. And you know, to be able to change other people's lives has been even a bigger blessing, because you know, during this time, you know, with the pandemic and unemployment skyrocketing, it's been absolutely wonderful to be able to just, from mothers or fathers to college students my age to people who didn't, you know, were unemployed due to the pandemic, having another stream of income. You know, I've had people tell me everything. Yo, option trading has changed my life, and you know, it has changed mine too. So that's my story. You know, that's a little bit about me. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I will be dropping more gems regarding the stock market, passive income, dividends, option trading, all of that. You know, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.